Organization is one thing which is very dynamic, and market is becoming much more dynamic. HR is an important part of the organization, but let me try to explain how the market and how the dynamics are changing. I strongly believe that in India and globally, business is no more business. Business is war. Either you win or you lose. There cannot be a status quo. I have seen in my industry, when LG entered, there was a company, BPL, as a leader. In 1 year's time, 1.5 years' time, it was nowhere. The brand is still strong in some part of the world, of some part of the country. And this is what is now. Because things which are happening in business are totally unthought of. Tata Steel, which had a global market share in the steel industry of 3%, took over Chorus, which had a global market share of 22%, a dwarf taking over a giant. Electrolux, which was in kitchen appliances and home appliances, its home appliances revenues were about 65%, making a loss. Kitchen appliances had a revenue about 35% with a profit about 40%. And they sold their brand, and in India, they sold it to a company like Videocon. So these things are absolutely unprecedented. Arcelor, when Arcelor was taken, Mittal's were there. Mittal's own market share in steel was very low. It was even lower than Tata Steel, and how they took over. In this type of unpredictable scenario, the best is going to survive. Jack Welch came out with a philosophy long time back that if you are not among the top 3 business, walk out of that. In India, there's a lot of things happening together. The channel is changing, the market is changing, the brand strength is changing, the products, technology is changing. But let me tell you, another 5 years when things will stabilize, in each industry it will be the top 3 which will survive. In US, the CEO's profile, the longevity was 5 years. When Vikram Pandit took over, even after first year, it was being talked he'll be removed. But because of the performance, he survived. So the longevity of CEOs on an average of 5 years has gone to about 1 to 1.5 years. BT, Business Today, every year comes out with the best managers less than 45 or 50 years of age. 3 or 4 years back when they had come out with a list, I said, okay, let me try to follow what has happened to them. And incidentally, personally, I knew about 60 to 70% of them. And let me tell you, 80% of those 60 to 70% lost their jobs in next 8 months. This is about dynamism. Business Week, every year end, last issue of December, comes out with the stars of Asia. It comes out with 50 stars of Asia. I have seen last 3 years, they have not repeated more than 2 names the next year. The names have got changed. One study where I was involved long time back which was rated as the best case study of decade by Harvard Business School. 1982-83 it started. I'll give you a summary of that. 2 professors of Harvard started it. And in 97, unlike India, where professors go once to an organization and write a case study, they studied it for 17 years or 18 years. And this gentleman who started a semiconductor industry in 1982, and we all know that semiconductor industry went up and up and up till 91, 92, then it started following the business cycle like any other industry. This gentleman who started this company was known as the toughest CEO of US by Harvard Business Review. And after he had seen downs and ups and downs, when the study ended, there were 4 things which were said in that crux of that particular study. Number 1, which was said that technology is important, but technology comes with a huge risk of investment and being success or a failure. First, you put millions and billions of dollars to create a technology. You might succeed, you might not succeed.